Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go with them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, I'm going to go over a story titled, Am I the a-hole for having SCX with another person after my wife wanted to open up our marriage? And guys, this story is about a guy. He is 33 years old. His wife is 30 and married for 8 years now. And pretty much it seems from the get-go, there's been problems with the marriage. And you're going to see ultimately this guy is going to, rightfully so, kick his wife to the curb, leaving her at a restaurant crying, all that. But it takes a whole lot of pain and hurt and humiliation for him to wake up and see reality. And what reality is that? That she's a liar, a cheater, a manipulator, all those types of ugly qualities. And I might add, you're going to see this gal clearly married this guy because he can be a provider and his family comes from money and all that. The typical situation when the girl finds that nice guy, she's ready to settle, get a ring on her finger. She's done temporarily rolling in the hay with Chad and Tyrone. And once they find that nice guy, back to their old ways. That's exactly what happens. And really kicks things off in a negative way when she wants an open marriage, which of course this bonehead goes for. And you're going to see how this whole thing plays out. And again, guys, once a cheater, always a cheater. So if you find that your girl is a cheater or up to no good, it's best to end it, even if you're married. Because otherwise, as hard as it is, it's going to communicate to her that you're weak, you're a pushover, and she'll keep pulling more stuff. And in the end, these guys are always like, why didn't I do this sooner? Why didn't I, And so I share these stories that hopefully these guys will learn from others' mistakes so they don't end in a situation like this. He says, hey guys. So my wife, a 30-year-old female, and I, a 33-year-old male, are married now for 8 years. Smack! 8 years? So you were 25 and you got married and she was 22? What's the rush? She's not much, haven't been a legal adult very long. What a whole lot of life experience have the two of you had? You establishing your career and all that. Well, you'll find out why she married him. 5 years ago, I found that my wife had cheated on me with a man she knew from Tinder. So you married a Tinderella? Smack! You can't turn a HOE into a housewife, dude. And either she was a Tinderella when you met her, that's how you met her on Tinder, or she was talking to somebody else on Tinder, all reasons to, not to get in a relationship with her and end it with her. She told me that they'd hooked up 3 times or so. First, I was shocked and wanted to divorce because the cheating is a no-go for me, as it should. However, she told me how sorry she was, and she only loves me, and she was really trying her best to show me that I can trust her again, and I did. Smack! Of course you did. That's what guys like this do. And as I said in the beginning, guys, this guy does well for himself, comes from a family with money, all that. So this is why she's doing this, Cake and eat two situation. She found her nice guy provider, and all she does is the waterworks, and he'll take her back. Now let me introduce you to my wife's best friend, Chris, a 31-year-old male. They know each other for 15 years or so, and whenever we have issues, she always runs to him to talk. Chris is single. He's had some relationships, but it never lasted that long. I know he has feelings for my wife. He is always telling her that he wants a girlfriend that is just like my wife, and keeps telling her that I do not deserve her. Smack! If you were marrying her, you should have said there's going to be no guy friends, no guys you hang out with, talk to, any of that type of thing, let alone a guy you go run to when you have issues with me. And this is not like the guy that's going to give her any issues or problems. He's a nice guy. See the problem here with this guy being too nice and him allowing crap, not standing up for himself or setting boundaries? Now our guy will redeem himself in the end, but still, guys, it can't be like this. You're going to get walked all over. And these gals are predators looking for weak guys like this to take advantage of. I never thought much about it because in my head, Chris was kind of a bootlicker, and I never thought that he had a chance at my wife. My friend, your actions are demonstrating that you are the bootlicker. Fast forward 6 months ago, we again had our ups and downs, and my wife shocked me with a suggestion of opening up our marriage. As if the cheating before wasn't grounds for divorce, this should be right then and there. She's probably already cheating anyway. I was shocked and immediately told her that I don't want that. At this point, we did not have SCX for like 8 months or so. She was never in the mood. Well, she was getting it from somebody else, and she was giving you the P word embargo to make you cave. Dude, you're providing for her, you're doing all this, and you're going 8 months out the SCX. Divorce her. You have plenty of grounds for doing this. Nope, not yet. And after trying many times at SCX with her, I just kind of stopped because I did not want to push her. I love SCX, and being SCX-less for 8 months made me really unhappy. Yeah, as would any youngish guy as well. And guess what? If you're not being taken care of by your wife in your marriage, this is grounds for divorce. Problem is, you're going to find out she doesn't work. He does all the providing. She's going to make out like a bandit. And she knows it. So the more I thought about her suggestion, the more I wanted to try it. So I agreed. Smack! You played right into her hands. And I guarantee you she's been hooking up the whole time. She was baffled at first, but in the end we both agreed and made up some rules which involved there are no feelings involved either from us or the person we have SCX with. None of that in our apartment. And we tell each other when we have SCX with someone else, we always use protection. I love these rules, like they're ever followed here. And my favorite one is, we're never going to get feelings for the other person. Come on here, that is inevitable in some capacity. He says, I have a coworker, a 28-year-old female, let's call her Sarah. She is a very flirtatious girl, and I always thought she was a bit into me. One night after our shift ended, we walked to the bus stop together, and I told her about the open marriage thing. She was immediately all ears and was very interested. She joked about that if I want to shoot my shot, I can always ask her. So I did. I told her about the rules and the feelings and that type of thing. She made it very clear that she finds me escort attractive, but there are no feelings. Yeah, sure. And also, you really want to be involved with someone like that, but then again, if he just wants to hook up? Well, this is just a terrible situation here. The next day, I talked to my wife about my coworker, and she told me I can go for it. Does this sound like a loving wife that actually wants to hook up with other dudes and have no problem hooking up with other women? Really? Some days later, I went to Sarah's place and we had SCX. It felt good, but it was not the same as having SCX with my wife. Well, you're not having SCX with your wife, so big deal. And like your wife's this wonderful person, she's terrible. What do you think she's doing to you behind the scenes? The following days, my wife was really quiet and we did not talk at all. I knew something was wrong, so I confronted her. I thought maybe it was because of me having SCX with Sarah. Oh boy, was I wrong. She told me that Chris and her had SCX. The friend of 15 years, the guy who always says she could do better, the guy she always goes running to for problems and stuff like that. There's a freaking surprise. No one ever saw that one coming. This is why you don't have your girlfriend, particularly your wife, have male friends they hang out with and spend time with and text and all that bullshit. Shocker. I guarantee she's been hooking up with him for years. After hearing this, I effing screamed at her and we got into a huge fight. Not only did she break the rule of not telling me about when she had SCX with someone else, she also broke the first rule about feelings. Her excuse was that we never made it clear when we should tell each other when we have SCX with someone else before it happened or afterwards. Now she's trying to find loopholes. But what really tipped me off was that she was trying to convince me that Chris has no feelings for her. In her eyes, I was overreacting way too much. I did not talk to her for 2 days now, and I'm staying in a friend's house. Right now? You gotta be kidding me, dude. Why aren't you ending this? I'll tell you why. Because he's a nice guy. Because he's a guy who thought he got himself a prize with this gal. That's why he married her, no doubt, so young. And she found her nice guy provider, who obviously can take care of her and comes from money, which you're going to find out in a second, as he admits this. And gals do this. They'll ride the carousel, have their fun, and find that nice guy to give them a wedding and a ring. And they figured, hey, in today's world where things like open marriages and open relationships, polyamory is encouraged even by the media nowadays, hey, I can find my guy. He'll be so in love with me that, of course, he won't break up with me because he'll be so fearful of losing me. And best of both worlds. It's a disaster. He should have ended with her the second he found that she was cheating on him, because once a cheater, always a cheater. And all they do is tell her she can keep pulling BS and he'll always take her back. And right here. He says, in my head, I'm thinking that Chris is somehow manipulating her so she separates from me. So am I the a-hole? You're the a-hole because you married what I believe is a Tinderella if you met her on Tinder. You're the a-hole for staying with her after she cheated on you. You're the a-hole who let her trick you into going into an open marriage by her not giving you any for 8 months and putting up with that. You're the a-hole for all these reasons, but you're not the a-hole for hooking up with some other chick when she's the one that brought up the open marriage. No, you're not the a-hole for that. So if you want to redeem yourself, stop being the dumb a-hole and end it with her. But so many guys like this have to suffer so much until they see reality. That's why I share these stories so guys can learn from these dudes' mistakes and they won't be in the same situation. So let's see what happens and let's watch this dude redeem himself. He says, it seems like I'm the bootlegger. Oh, the irony. You are the bootlegger. Oh, real quick, I'm going to read some comments because there was his first post and how he wraps this up. So some comments before I go on to how he ends this. One guy says, my God, will you please have some self-respect and leave this woman? This is some of the most ridiculous crap I've read. She cheated on you multiple times, opened the marriage up because she doesn't find you attractive, and then doesn't even follow the rules. She doesn't respect you. Correct. A woman doesn't respect a guy, she'll never love him. And the common theme to all these stories is the women have no respect for these guys. And frankly, these guys bring so much of this crap onto themselves. Another one. She's been sleeping with this Chris dude. The open up the marriage thing was so she could escape the guilt because she already was effing him. Divorce. There's no relationship here. You're roommates, and that didn't even come with benefits at all. And one more. This guy says, what a toxic relationship. Why bother being married? Why don't you just go off and enjoy life and find someone who actually cares and loves you? Let your wife go or let the wife go off or be with a hoe. Life's too short for this type of BS. Correct. Life is too short. Now to his update. He says, thank you all for the harsh comments calling me a bitch, idiot, doormat, etc. It really made me realize what an effing loser I am. Hey, this is why I'm fair. I'm tough but fair. Because guys need to be talked to like this. This is how people can get through our thick skulls. He needed people to call him an idiot and a doormat and a bitch and all that. Because that's how he's behaving. Anyhow, I got an update and I'm also answering some questions. He says, yes, my wife is fairly attractive. I heard that from colleagues on multiple occasions. She's that Pilates/yoga/fitness type of woman. She's got a boob job 6 years ago, which I paid for. Of course you did. Nice ass, brown hair, green eyes. So she's good looking, she has all these features and the boob job that he paid for, and he doesn't get to enjoy it. He's paying for that so other dudes can enjoy it. He says, me on the other hand, I'm fairly average looking. Besides my height and physique, I don't have anything else going for myself. Well, that's a terrible way for one to look at themselves. So you can see how he was easy prey for her. What I tell you, they look for that type of guy who they know darn well is a nice guy, will provide, and they can get easily, right? Besides my wife's fitness addiction, I got into it well, and as a result got pretty jacked. My best friend and I came to the conclusion that she's only with me for financial security. No, never thought that in a million years. I got a solid education, well-paying job, plus my parents are wealthy. My wife has not been working for 3 years or so. I was also planning on buying a house this year. Smack! So what happened to her job? I don't hear anything about her being pregnant or anything. She just suddenly, her back hurt one morning, she couldn't work? Or did you just feel like the big, strong provider saying, my little missus doesn't have to work. She can just go off to the gym all day and look hot for me. Joke's on you because she's looking hot for somebody else. No, this is not work, bro. He says, yes. I think, too, that my wife had SCX with Chris and probably other men before the incident. I guarantee your wife has been cheating on you. Even before you were married, she was probably cheating on you when you were the courtship. Let's get to the update, however. I'm still at my friend's place, and in my mind, this marriage is over, and I'm filing for divorce. Thank the Lord. This is why you got to be tough on these guys for them to wake up and realize. I tried to tell her that yesterday over the phone, but she was not answering my calls for 3 hours or so. So I sent her a text before going to bed, telling her that it's probably best to separate and that I'm going to file for divorce. I woke up to an excess of messages. She was angry at me at first, but shifted to apologizing and wanted to work things out. We agreed on seeing each other today, so the next update will probably be the last one. Smack! don't go see her so she can turn on the third degree of waterworks and crying and begging. Notice her first tactic was being angry and yelling at him because, this guy's always behaved like a bitch. Well, that didn't work. Shift in tactics, fresh tactics, the waterworks and the crying and begging. Why? Because she loves him? No. Because she doesn't want to lose her gravy train. That's why. Next update. He says, this will probably be my last update. I just had lunch with my wife, and it was blatantly obvious how she was trying to manipulate me again. Dude, she's been manipulating you since she met you. She had confessed everything. You didn't get everything. Her and Chris had sex for over a year now. She started crying and how it's all her fault and how she wants to get back with me. Let me guess, Chris can't provide. However, I've had enough of this. I told her I'm going to file for divorce and left her crying at the restaurant. Awesome. Our nice guy's making a comeback here. I love that. Leave her crying at the restaurant. That's where she belongs. Well, she belongs in the street, but that's the second best thing. Meanwhile, I've already made arrangements with our family attorney. I'm staying at my dad's place for a couple days so things can cool off a bit. He's very supportive and has actively helped me with the divorce. Great. Surround yourself with people that love you, bro. Thank you again for all the comments. I might do another update in a week or so, and we will see how this shit show is going to end. Well, bro, not that you probably will see this video here, but great work. Great work. I'm sure it was very hard to go through. I'm sorry it happened to you. You're probably a good guy, but I'm sorry that all that happened to you. You don't deserve that. But this is what happens when guys are too nice, don't get rid of a cheater, don't set boundaries, don't check their girl, and are foolish enough to think that pretty hot girl who never would have given me the time of day when I was younger, all of a sudden is finding me attractive just like the movie said. No. So many young guys think this. The reality is, guys, if you are not the type of guy that the girls are chasing after in high school and college, and all of a sudden you get your mid-20s, you got a job, you're doing well for yourself, or well enough, and all of a sudden they're paying attention to you because they're looking to settle. That's why. And they will never love you or treat you or certainly F you the way they did with the other guys they really wanted. But at the end of the day, they want to compete to see which of their friend group can get a ring on their finger first. And the ceremony and all that. And it's just really unfortunate for these poor guys that don't know any better. But bro, you're redeeming yourself by realizing, hey, you know what? I don't need to put up with this crap any longer because you're in your early 30s. You got your whole life ahead of you. Are you going to take the hit in the divorce? No doubt. But you know what? It's worth it. Do what you got to do. Get out of this situation. You'll get the slap on the wrist, divorce in terms of alimony and stuff like that. And you deal with it and you move on. And you learn from it. Don't go get into another relationship with the same type of girl. And in the future, if the girl, you start dating a gal and next thing you find out she's cheating on you or something like that, you end it with her. You don't buy into the waterworks because they typically are all the same playing this type of BS game. Biggest problem is these guys never learn, and they have one bad relationship end, thinking they learned, and they move on to another relationship with the same type of girl, and the same crap happens again. That's why people always say, how do I always end up with the same type of girl? Or the girls say, how do I end up with the same type of guy? Because you are attracted to a certain type, and you never learn from your mistakes. So I wish you luck, bro, and I will be looking for that update. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let this guy know what you think in the comment section. I mean, you never know. You might see this. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.